Hi everyone, Rebecca here with Basics by Becca. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to deal with a belittling boss. So, if you have one, it may be tough to stay positive and motivated at work. It's important to remember that this behavior is not about you, rather, it's a reflection of your boss's own insecurities. However, that doesn't make it any easier to deal with on a daily basis. So let's go ahead and dive into some tips that can help you for dealing with a belittling boss. So, the first tip I have for you is to try to stay calm and rational. It's important to keep your cool when dealing with a person like this. Losing your temper will only make the situation worse and give your boss more ammunition to use against you. If possible, try to have a calm, rational conversation with your boss about the way you're being treated. And if that's not possible or that doesn't work, let's move on to tip number two. So, tip number two is to document everything. Keeping a record of the ways your boss has belittled you can be helpful for two reasons. First, it can help you keep track of the frequency and severity of these incidents. This can be useful information to have if you decide to take action against your boss. And the second one is that documentation can help counteract the gaslighting effect that often occupies belittling behavior. So if you're constantly being told that you're imagining things or that you're overreacting, documentation can help prove that there's actually a problem. And moving on to tip number three, know your options. Depending on the severity of the situation, you may decide that it's time to take action against your boss. If you've tried reasoning with them and nothing has changed, it may be time to speak to HR or even file a formal complaint. In some cases, it may even be necessary to consult an attorney and know your rights and options so that you can make an informed decision about what steps to take next. Number four is that you shouldn't take it personally. It can be difficult not to take your boss's criticisms personally, but it's important to remember that this behavior is not about you. Belittling bosses often act this way because of their own insecurities or lack of confidence. When you can separate the criticism from yourself, it can be easier to deal with. And last but not least, set boundaries. It's important to set boundaries with a boss like this so that their behavior does not negatively impact your work or home life. If your boss is constantly critiquing your work, set a limit on how much feedback you're willing to hear. Once you reach this limit, politely excuse yourself from the conversation. Additionally, don't be afraid to speak up if your boss has crossed the line. Let them know that their behavior is making you feel uncomfortable and that you expect it to stop. So, I do have more tips over on my website, and I'll leave a link to that blog post below. But I want to leave you with some final thoughts. If you're dealing with a belittling boss, know that you're not alone. This type of behavior is unfortunately all too common in the workplace. However, there are steps that you can take to protect yourself and minimize the impact of this behavior. Thank you for tuning into this video, and I'll go ahead and catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe below.